I still remember that day, the beginning of the end. It was supposed to be another concession. I remember the rapid footwork of our soldiers, wounding each other as if they were mortal enemies. The despair of the loyalists, as they were being ambushed by their fellow compatriots, is still etched in my memory. And I still resent those hairless simians for the lies and deceits they told to our people. For it was 25 years ago. I was the Vice Admiral of the Second Fleet. I commanded alongside the Admiral herself, going to the Sol system to formalize an annexation to our nation. We were armed and ready, as the system was inhabited by an emerging spacefaring nation, the United Terror. We were supposed to either show our might to the Primitives or accept their negotiations. The Terrans, not wanting to risk a conflict with the mighty armada of ours, decided to open for negotiations and welcomed our diplomats for parley. The Admiral and I followed there to oversee the outcome of the negotiation. The first thing I noticed during the negotiations was how big and populous Terran cities were. Even though we were already briefed on their potential strengths, I was still surprised when I landed on the planet in person. Back then, Earth's population alone was equal in numbers when compared to 10 of our most populous systems. But then again, that population meant nothing if they didn't have the guns to back them up. And they would have been treasured as laborers for the princedom. The second thing I noticed during the negotiations was how sociable these humans were. They seemed very friendly and understanding. Our soldiers were wary at first, but the humans' persistence warmed them up for chats and small talks. Their refined and silver-tongued diplomats, on the other hand, sang praises of the Admiral. I should have realized, however, that all of those were lies. When the Terrans were socializing with our troopers, they were trying to search for their desires and fears, looking for any grudges against the Grand Prince. When they glorified the Admiral, with lauds and admiration, it was to boost her ego and create a sense of importance. They told her of glory and power just within arm's reach to capture. And when they swore fealty, they didn't do so to the Grand Prince. They swore fealty to the Admiral, promising support for her to claim the throne for herself. I was shocked by their proposition, and even more so when the Admiral agreed with the idea. I was about to call out the absurdity when suddenly the Admiral's guards restrained and threatened me. During that, I saw the Admiral and the Terran ambassadors hatching a plan to take control of the fleet. I saw the Admiral's yes-men come to the room to receive their orders. I heard the Admiral's oration on how they would receive the pay and treatment that they deserve, and how there were cowards that would fight against her. When I was being led to my prison cell, I saw it. I saw the fighting. I saw some loyalists trying to attack my captors to free me, but to no avail, as they were shot by the Admiral's cronies from the back. After which, my captors hurried to put me in a secure location, while more combat rages on. I especially remember the aftermath, as blooded soldiers and officers were put in the same room as mine, with the feeling of betrayal evident in their eyes. We sat there, unable to do a single thing to rectify the incident. For what leverage do we have against them? We had been cutting their pay and declining them their rest. It was a particularly lengthy journey, and the crew lacked morale. And morale the Admiral gave them, with filthy lies and empty promises. And the dead? Replaceable with Terran manpower. And so I wait, helplessly. After moving from one detainment center to another, I was freed and went back to our home. And in that freedom I found despair. The princedom has fallen, with a new empire standing in its place. In a coronation ceremony, the Admiral crowned herself Empress, with thunderous applause accompanying it. I heard how the Empress promised stability, security, and peace for her new empire, and spoke ill of the previous monarch. I was angered by that and spoke defiantly to the speech. But it was not another arrest I faced. It was ridicule. I saw, one by one, as other attendants booed me and spoke of me as if I were an idiot. And when the guards came, they just politely asked me to leave, Not because I'm causing a ruckus, but because I'm endangering myself. It hurt me even more, as the Admiral's indoctrination, aided by Terran propagandists, ran deep into our information network, leading all of us even more astray from the truth. So, don't make me remind you of this again, my daughter. I beg of you. I raised you well enough all these years to ensure that you won't fall to their lies, so that you won't fall to Terran fabrications. Don't let their army recruitment campaign fool you, my shining star. I don't know if I'll be able to ever see you again if you accept it. I already lost my nation, I can't lose you as well. Please, hear me. Hear your father, and not their false offer for power. As power corrupts, and humanity corrupts absolutely.